I'm Brant, he's Chris. We put on a show you just can't miss. He says cowabunga, I say yo Joe. Welcome to the Chris and Brant Show.
Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of the Chris and Brant Show. And you guys are probably sitting there right now wondering, hey, this isn't a live show. This never was a live show. And why is there only audio? Why aren't we seeing the pretty faces of Brant Fowler and Chris Ventura? Well, Brant and I decided that Google Plus is being a real pain lately. I mean, we just did Hall of Toys, and let's just say my video was sucking. So we're trying to find a program. By the way, hi, Brant.
Hey Chris, nice of you to acknowledge me.
I'm sorry. I realized I was going into why we're doing it like this, and I realized I didn't say hi. So how are you?
I'm doing swell. How are
What
you?
you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so sorry. That was horrible of me.
That's all right.
So for the next two episodes, because we are going to be doing two episodes back to back, they won't be going up at the same time, but for the next two episodes of the Chris and Brant Show, we're going to be doing them audio. I'm sure wonderful pictures will be posted up by our wonderful editor, Barry. We also call him Brant. It's fun to say Barry, though, because the game grows. But anyway, we're trying to find it. What?
I said, my uncle's name is Barry.
So there you go. We're going to pretend that Brant's Uncle Barry is the one that is editing this video, but it's really Brant. And hopefully Barry will be putting nice pictures up in between the show. Or somewhere, or something. Or there'll be fireworks and whatnot. Barry put fireworks in right now. Okay. Fireworks. Oh, Barry's probably typing to me and telling me to shut up.
Fireworks. Fireworks.
Okay. So anyway, we're going to look into finding a program, because I wanted to do this anyway, at some point where we would be able to do pre-recorded Brant and Chris shows without having to use Google Plus. So as soon as we find a good Google,
there's no such thing.
Yeah, I guess it's thing. No, as soon as we find a good Skype video recorder, and if anybody out there has any recommendations, please, I beg you, let me know in the comments.
That does video, yes.
Yes, and we will try our hardest to download that program, and if we can get it to work, Barry will edit in our videos, and then the background will change instead of the whole video itself.
This Barry dude's doing a lot of work.
Well, Barry, take it easy. You can just put certain little pictures and don't go crazy, but to do the fireworks.
All right.
Barry's going to be doing a lot of editing on 123 podcast, because I keep forgetting I wanted to mention something, but we'll talk about that later.
Say what?
Talk about that later.
Stop calling me Barry.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it later, Brad. Okay, we're going to stop this intro now, and this video, we're going to be discussing the DC Solicits for November. Yep, what?
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 Who?
I said for November. I was finishing your sentence for you before you did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
thought you'd appreciate that. Me talking all over you like this. It's just fun. It's because we don't have the video cues. We can't. What's going on here?
I mean, you can put your video on so we have cues. That's fine with me, but they won't be able to see us.
Well, then that's no fun.
Okay, then. Well, anyway. Brant, what are we doing?
We're doing the Chris and Brant Show. Where have you been? You've been talking about it for like 15 minutes already.
What are we doing on the show?
We're talking about DC Solicits for November. You already said that.
Okay, then. So I would like to actually just stomp all over the intro and then you just walk away. That's fine.
Drop the mic and walk away.
Exactly. That's it. That's the best this show is ever going to get. No. The one book, it starts off the listing, but I really want to talk about it because there's actually two versions of it. Is The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, issue number 1. It comes in both a standard comic size, which is $5.99, or you can get the collector's edition for $12.99, and the collector's edition comes in a special. I'm going to quote this because I'm unsure of the definition of paper to. Oh, where is it now? I had it and then I lost.
Paper over boards.
Thank you. And all of all 7 issues are like that, and then the 8th issue comes with a special slipcase that you can put all 8 issues into, which sounds interesting. So I might be doing it that way, but it's apparently what we've been asking for. I don't remember asking for a 3rd final story to The Dark Knight Rises, but okay.
Dark Knight Returns, but yes.
Well, over here it says The Dark Knight Rises. Oh, again. I do that. Okay. So, what are your feelings on this, Brand? Because I know you did mention one thing about it.
I don't want to be negative, but I mean the first one, Dark Knight Returns was Dark Knight Returns was the first one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Dark Knight Returns was good. It was this unique thing. It was mid '80s, all these kind of stories like that in that kind of vein were taking place, and it was really good. The second one wasn't as great.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah,
yes.
that's a nice way to put it. Yeah. So that alone gives me a little bit of pause here, and I'm saying a lot because I'm trying to stall. Try not to say this, but Brian Azzarello is co-writing with Frank Miller on this one. I'm not the hugest Brian Azzarello fan, as anybody that knows me at all and my reading taste knows. So that is not my favorite thing, and I especially am not crazy about the Batman work he has done.
Yes, that's very true.
So at least Frank Miller is leading the way, but I have a feeling that he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, Brian Azzarello. Mm-hmm. The saving grace here, though, is the art of Andy Kubert and Klaus Janson, which is just, this is going to be an absolutely gorgeous book, if nothing else. So.
Right. That's what we were talking about right before we started recording, that the artwork will look gorgeous for this book. Hopefully the story will match it, but I don't know. I feel like this is the first time I'm collecting comics where the Dark Knight is. It's kind of like Wolverine Origins. I wasn't collecting comic books when the original came out, so I wanted to jump in when the new one came. So I kind of feel the same way with the Dark Knight. I want to try it.
I can understand that. I was collecting comics when Origin came out. Not when I wasn't collecting comics when the first Dark Knight Returns came out though.
That was the 80s. We were still young.
Yeah. I started. I went to my first comic shop in '89, so it came out in like '86 or something, right?
I was born the year it came out.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Shut up. But so yeah, no, I get that though. It's the same way when I was all over. I can't even think of what it is now. I was all over the next. The Crisis events that followed.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, well, not that one because I wasn't collecting comics at the time. But when they started doing all the other crises, before I found out most of them were not that great, I was really into those and trying to read all that stuff. So I get what you're saying.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I guess both me and Brant, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But I do like that the cover. At least the collector's edition cover is by Jim Lee. The regular comic is done by several artists.
The regular, yeah.
The standard edition has like a ton of variants, but the collector's edition has one.
Right. No, totally. So.
I just hope. I was gonna say one last thing in closing with this. Hopefully, the collector's edition comes out the same week as the standard edition, because I don't want to have to, like, for example, let's say the standard edition comes out at the beginning of the month, a collector's edition at the end. I don't want to buy the standard edition thinking, okay, well, maybe the comic shop isn't getting collector's edition, and then find out later on that, well, guess what, the collector's edition's coming out. It's just at the end of the month instead.
Well, I mean, if this is any indication. The first issue comes out on November 25th, and the collector's edition comes out on December 9th.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay, well, they come out about 2 weeks apart then.
Right. So that's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad at all. I just have to remember then that I don't get the standard edition. I have to wait the extra couple of weeks for the collector's edition.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is much better if they can stay on schedule with it. Is much better than the way the most recent Sandman was doing. Or
yeah,
it was like they would release the regular issue and then a month later they would release the special edition of it. And then they'd keep going back and forth like that, but then they had so many delays that it took like a year and a half to do a 6-issue story. But
I just noticed, when you mentioned the date, I actually just noticed it says the date it's on sale. Wow.
Yeah.
Smart me. Smart.
It's easy to miss in the way they list their information there.
So that's my first pick. I've talked for too long. Brent.
Since we're talking about Batman, I'll just briefly mention the Batman and Robin Eternal weekly series. This is the second month of it. Both of us are still, we were actually talking about this a little bit before the show as well. Both of us are still on the fence with this, whether we're going to pick this up or not. Because we got so burnt out on the weekly series with the previous 3 that they did right before Convergence. And, this is a follow-up to one of those, the best one, granted. So that's kind of why I'm considering it a little bit, because it is a sequel to the best one that they did. And they told some pretty interesting stories, and it seems like this one is focusing on the entire Bat family with a heavy focus on the Robins, at least early on. And that intrigues me a little bit. The only thing is there's so many new books coming out this month from Marvel and DC that it's kind of I don't know, that's a lot to commit to four extra books a month just for one title. So.
I think with this title, especially with a lot of the Marvel stuff coming out, I think this might be one of those digital books that I get, if you know what I mean. I think this one I probably, because of the bulk amount, and honestly, physical comic-wise, I'm not ready to dedicate myself. I've got like a humongous pile because of DC last year. I don't think I'm ready to physically dedicate myself again to another, I think this is a 6-month event. I don't think I could, physical format-wise, dedicate myself to that. Even though Scott Snyder is involved, I do want to read it. I just don't think I could do it physically. Digitally is a lot cheaper the way I do it, so I'm probably going to go that way to be safe.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'll have to see what happens. But like I said, the story that the Robins are all, because of this secret of Batman, is they're all like separated on different missions going around the world and stuff. That's kind of intriguing to me. I like a lot of, some of these team-ups are kind of interesting. Jason Todd and Tim Drake together.
Yeah, and also apparently Dick Grayson's going to get found out again finally.
Yeah.
So that's good, especially with Bruce kind of in that amnesia state. Mm-hmm. So he really can't defend himself against, hey, you lied to us again.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else you wanted to mention on that?
No, that's pretty much it.
One book that caught my eye, and again, I'm hesitant, but not because of the writer. I'm hesitant because of one of the artists. Superman, American Alien. This is a story that's going to really focus on his younger years, specifically when he was 12 years old, at least the first book. It's going to have several artists on it. It's going to have Jock. It's going to have Francis Manipool, which I'm really excited for Francis Manipool. But then this is my problem. Jay Lee. Everybody knows how much I'm really not... I mean, I don't hate the man's artwork. I'm not going to trash on Jay Lee. I do not believe it fits in a Superman book. I don't think it works here. I don't think he should be on this book. But it's a 7-issue miniseries. It looks interesting. I'm glad that DC's doing a couple of Superman books, other than just the main book and Superman, Lois, and Clark. It looks interesting. I definitely want to check it out when it starts.
See, no, I mean, obviously you're going to check it out. It's a Superman book.
Right, I can't. Obviously, I'm...
Yeah. I'm a little iffy on this one too. One, because it's another miniseries commitment. Two, it's because it's another telling of the younger years of Clark Kent, and I've seen so many of those over the years. I don't know if I need to see another one. I appreciate Nick Dragotta is the first artist on it. I think he's a pretty good artist. Ryan Sook does the cover. I love Ryan Sook's covers. I might wait and see like if this blows you away or something, and see what you think about it. Yeah.
I'm not really holding my breath. I'll be honest with you.
No, I know.
I mean, we've had Smallville,
Yeah.
we've had Man of Steel, we've had so many. You said it, man. I mean, the only thing they haven't talked about is when Clark was a baby, and apparently even post Crisis on Infinite Earths, his superpowers didn't come out until he was older. So as a baby, he was completely normal. So that's the only time. That's the only part of his story that they never told. They even told the story of the Kents. So you can't even say, well, we don't have a story about his parents. Yeah, we kind of do.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big question mark on this one. I'm gonna wait to hear what people think, especially you and Jay being the big Superman fans you are.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yeah. I am. We were talking about this too. I am considering jumping back into Aquaman, and
it's the cover.
It's what the Bugs Bunny cover.
Yeah.
It's well, that is one of the reasons, of course. No, there are a couple of reasons I actually want to consider this. One, all right, when the New 52 launched and Jeff Johns was writing Aquaman, I just jumped all over that book. That book was so good. It was,
I remember it, yeah.
Yeah, it was so good, and I was so excited about that book. And then Jeff Parker took over when Jeff Johns left the book. Now, Jeff Parker's writing, I usually like. He wrote Agents of Atlas at Marvel, loved it. I didn't feel like he carried the same vision that Jeff Johns had for the book, and he changed it a little bit, which every writer does. I didn't like the feel of it as he was writing it, so after a few issues I dropped it. Now we have Cullen Bunn writing it. I like Cullen Bunn's writing. He writes some really good and interesting stories, and on top of that, Ocean Master is returning in this, so that's two things that really have me curious to try this book out now.
And Ocean Master, the last time we saw him was Forever Evil. He was doing some good stuff, so It's going to be interesting to see him go back into that villain persona.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm really curious to see what's going on with that. So.
Oh, Brant, while we're on you, and we forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show, what's DC's variant for the month?
DC's variant, which is one of the best variants they've ever done, in my opinion.
Yes.
Is Looney Tunes. Not every. About 25 of the titles have Looney Tune variant covers.
Same price.
Yeah, same price. And some of them are most of them are absolutely fantastic. There's a Flash one where Flash is racing against Roadrunner and Speedy Gonzalez, and those two are winning. Catwoman is holding Tweety Bird, which I love that cover, even though I'm not crazy about the book. You got Deathstroke squaring off against Yosemite Sam. You got the Superman against that boxer. I love that one.
Yeah.
Is that Action Comics?
My favorite one has to go to Bugs Bunny and Superman.
Oh, that's the Action
Super
Comics.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
That's action, yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta love Elmer Fudd in the opera Viking gear.
Yep,
next to
I'm
Wonder
getting
Woman.
that Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm getting that one. I'm getting 90% because they are. I love Looney Tunes, and the regular covers are gorgeous, and it's gonna kill me that month because I'm gonna want both. But to be honest, I have to. We have to get the Looney Tunes ones because it's just they're so awesome. How many times we won't see this again for a very long time.
Yeah. This was an opportunity they couldn't pass. Warner Brothers does Looney Tunes, so it just fit perfectly. And I love Sylvester has a Robin in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just in the Green Lantern one, we got to mention the Green Lantern one.
Oh, the alien! What is his name?
Marvin Martian.
Yep.
Alien with an Attitude. I used to have a bumper sticker with his face on it that said "Alien with an Attitude." Yeah, that was kind of my. I used that phrase, "alien with an attitude," on um, like my forum little tags, little quote things, for years because of that. But he's like got Green Lantern rings on all his fingers. It's just that's perfect.
It's insanity, but in a very good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cindy also wanted to get the Harley Quinn one with the monster. I forgot the monster, what his name was. Very interesting.
Yeah. I can't remember his name either, but I remember the what was it, a hair scare or whatever it was called, the cartoon where Bugs Bunny
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, that's a super cute one. I like that one too. So.
Yeah. Now I don't know about Action because I honestly, Action came out this week. I'm in the middle of reading it. I'm very far behind, guys. Oh, by the way, I'm apologizing in advance, everybody. The comic review is really late because a lot of books this week and lots going on. This is the last week of work, so I'm not even going to be on Frontline Live today because this video we're shooting tonight, but it'll be up probably Tuesday. So I'm not even going to be on Frontline Live tonight because I've got a lot of things going on for the last week of work. But anyway, I don't know how I feel about Action Comics right now. The direction it looks like it's going in, the strongest book, though, looks like Superman Wonder Woman, where Clark's actually trying to get his powers back.
Nice.
And Lana, Lois, and Wonder Woman are helping him try to do that. So they're teaming up to learn exactly who's behind the new threat to Superman. So they're trying to find out the threat. Clark's trying to get his powers back. And, of course, Superman 46, I can't stand because I cannot stand John Romita Jr.'s artwork. His artwork, I can sit here and say I cannot stand it, period. I would take Jay Lee's artwork over John Romita Jr.'s.
Yeah, that's honestly why I stopped reading Superman. I couldn't handle it. It was Jeff Johns and John Romita at first, right? Not Superman. Yeah, it was Superman, right?
Oh, Superman, yeah, Superman.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. And I was reading that, and I couldn't take the art. I could not take it. No disrespect to John Romita Jr., I just do not like his style. I don't. So, there you go. So I have no idea what's going on in the Superman books, except for I'm even way behind on Superman and Wonder Woman.
Apparently, Superman is now the book that's in the past. The story, obviously still in November, is going to be about how he is found out, how he becomes powerless, and how he shaves his head and ends up at the Fortress of Solitude and loses his suit and basically his identity completely.
Okay.
And one thing I will say, and I love Dan Jurgens, and this is the last super book I'm going to talk about. I love Dan Jurgens to death. But damn it all to hell. Superman, Lois and Clark, issue number 2. I don't give a crap what anyone says. DC's like, we're giving you back your Superman. Anybody who looks at this cover, it's basically the new 52 Superman outfit without the collar and in black and silver. That's the exact same belt. That's the exact same hand, arm, gauntlet things that are on the new 52 Superman. And it's not taking place right after, right before Flashpoint. This is in the distant future where he has a son, and now there's questions about this a new Superman. I'm already starting to really regret this.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Now, I don't remember what the solicitation text said for the first issue, but I do remember the cover had Superman with a beard and mustache.
Yeah, I guess he shaved it.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. The solicitation here says, while we learn what exactly this strange new Superman has been up to, I'm wondering if the one on this cover is this strange Superman and it's not the Superman.
That is a possibility. Then we have a story that's not pissing me off.
Yeah, I was thinking that when we were talking about it before the show, but I wanted to save that for the show to get your reaction on that.
That is true. Actually, that is very true, and I love the Tony S. Daniel cover, minus the fact that it's the new 52 costume.
Yeah, so it's quite possible this could be like a completely different Superman, and yours is still sporting the beard and mustache somewhere.
That is very much a humongous possibility. So I don't know. I will see where it goes. But if it's not, then I have issue. But it's
yeah.
Dan Jurgens writing Superman. I can't not like it.
Yeah. So you'll just have to check out the first issue and see if that's where they're headed with it, and go from there on this
Yeah.
one. Because you know you're going to get it either way. So.
Of course, the Superman I have no choice. Even the ones I'm not discussing now, I'm positive I'll be getting them.
It's Superman. You're addicted. You have to.
It's not an addiction; it's an obsession.
Okay, well there you go. I don't know which is worse, but no, it's all good. I'm glad you love the character that much, so that you know.
Eventually, things have to get better, right? I mean, they can't stay.
No.
They can't be horrible forever.
No, of course I've been telling myself that about Spider-Man since like issue 600, but that's okay.
Thanks, Brant. You're giving me hope. That's why I have you here. You give me hope.
All kidding aside, are you getting the DC bombshells? The first issue's out, right?
Yes, it is.
I have not read it.
I gave it to Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't invest myself in that universe. I feel like they took it's like, what's a good example? They took covers that were great. It's like the cavemen. You remember that commercial? It's so easy, even a caveman could do it.
Yeah.
You know how they took the cavemen and they were so popular, they gave them their own TV show, and it failed after like the first episode?
Yeah.
I get the feeling that might be what happens here at some point. I mean, the first issue looked good, but I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, I can see how this would possibly run its course. You know, it's based on this cool imagery of these strong, empowered female characters back, you know, in like a 40s, 50s style.
Yep.
So, I mean, it makes sense why that's an appealing concept, but I could see how, you know, like I said, it would run its course fast. I don't know. I haven't read it, though.
I think that a year. I give it a year. And I think if not for the fanfare, I think DC might just pull the plug on its own.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We could be totally wrong, and it could take off like gangbusters.
Very true. Very true. I don't know. I mean, you know, stranger things have happened. Stranger comics have made it big.
True.
So.
Care to elaborate?
Well, Walking Dead. Nobody thought that was going to be big. It made it big. Invincible, another comic by Robert Kirkman. Lock and Key. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when they first came out, nobody had faith in that, and look where they are now.
That's true.
Shoot.
Did you ever hear Ron's story about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Ron's story? No, I don't think so.
I've got to find that podcast. You got to hear that story.
Okay.
He met them. He met them before it even got picked up.
I think let me hear the episode again anyway, whether I did or didn't.
Yeah.
So this way I'll definitively know.
It was good. It was a really good story. So anyway, that's a total sidetrack there, though.
But yeah, no, you know, a lot of, you know, things that never really make it far, that look like they're not going to make it far, sometimes they really make, you know, they go that extra mile.
Totally. No, I totally agree with you. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. I mean, look at Injustice. Did you really think that Injustice would make it to season 3?
I know you didn't.
I didn't. I was surprised that it made it past season 1.
I remember you yelling, "Why won't this end?"
Because the game's over. We know how the world, you know, we know how it ends.
Yeah, but it went beyond the game. That's the thing.
It did. And they killed them in Convergence. That's the really funny thing.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Anyway. Are you still reading Flash?
For the moment. I think just for the cover for this month, like you said with the Speedy Gonzalez and everything, even if I'm not reading it at this point, I'll pick it up for
Yeah.
But I think that I think it's run its course with me. Honestly, I'm not.
It needs a new creative team. I'm sorry. It needs a new direction completely.
I mean, I love Rob Vendetti. I love
I
his
do
work.
too.
So
Yeah.
I just don't think this book is for him. I'm not feeling Flash.
Yeah, and I mean that's our opinion. We don't like the direction it's going right now, and
I don't like the direction issue 46 is going. It's all about the rogues again. You know, Heatwave went missing during Forever Evil, which was what, 2.5 years ago? And this book's all about the rogues reuniting to find out if he's really dead or alive.
yeah. So yeah, no, I'm with you, and I'm when this book gets a new creative team, I might check it out depending on who it is and what the concept is. But right now, I think I keep trying to read it, and I keep getting excuse me, I keep getting disappointed. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that sour on the book. So I don't think I'm going to read it anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I really do. I'm just gonna get the next issue from for this month because I believe it ends Zoom, and if it doesn't, I think I'll just drop it anyway. And to be honest, I'll only get issue 46 for the cover, if at all, because I mean there's a lot of books. You guys will hear when we do Marvel, which is the next video, which will be up later today after things are done, or after the solicits are up. So there's just too many books to hold on to a book to wait for it to get better. So when it gets better, I'll re-examine it and go back to it.
I do totally want that cover though.
I'm getting it for the cover. I probably will buy it for the cover, but I won't be reading it. So I really will literally only have it to have the cover. Same thing with Aquaman.
Yeah. Now a book I actually am enjoying quite a bit is Starfire.
Oh yes, and I love both covers honestly.
Yeah, I do too. And you know, the story is so fun, and I absolutely love Emanuela Lupacino's artwork. And she did Archer and Armstrong for Valiant for a bit, and I fell in love with her art on that book. And now she's on this, and it's a perfect marriage of writer team and artist team here, and just it's so fun. She's working in an aquarium now. That's just. Starfire is working in an aquarium.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the story's definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah, totally.
That's really all I could say on it because Michael's really reviewing most of it. I just get glimpses of it here and there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? I'll ask you your thoughts because I'll give you guys a little backstory. Mike Spiderslayer. I watched his latest review for Batman, and the title said, "Don't drop this book." So I went out, and Midtown's having a huge sale, so I went back and I got the 3 issues that I missed so far. I didn't stick around for like too many spoilers. I stuck around for a bit of it, so I do kind of know what's going on, but it does sound interesting, and I'm gonna stick with it for a little bit longer. What about you?
I have honestly, I'm not even sure that I finished Endgame. To be quite honest, I got so disenfranchised with that book, and I just if you guys keep telling me that I need to be reading it, I will catch up and I'll read it. But at this point, I have them, but I'm not reading them.
The only reason why I'm really interested now, especially after reading the solicit, is the last sentence. Batman reaches out to the one man who might be able to help him, Bruce Wayne. So obviously, this story arc with Mr. Bloom, who's the new bad guy, is probably going to be trying to bring Bruce Wayne back into the fold as Batman. Probably it'll fail, because I'm sure DC's going to want to milk this for a little bit of time at least. But it looks like already DC's trying to bring Batman back into, Bruce back into Batman.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the end game, no pun intended.
Yeah, Lisa's reading this, you and Mike are reading this, so I've got a lot of people that tell me, hey, this is really good, you should be reading this if it gets there. I'm really hesitant. I kind of got burnt out on what was going on in that book. It started off really strong when Scott Snyder started on that book.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. what happens, but I'm gonna stick around and see
Okay.
more. I'm not reading detective still. I'm literally just gonna be sticking with Batman. I'm not gonna add like a bunch of different books to my Bat library, so to speak.
Your Bat library.
My Bat library.
I just watched the season finale of Gotham.
How was it? Just out of pure curiosity.
It was actually really good. I don't want to give things away in case you ever do get around to watching, which I doubt you will. But
no, not Gotham. There are a lot of shows I want to catch up with. Gotham is the very bottom of the list.
Gotham got really good though. It got really strong in the back half of the season, and there was like gang wars and all this stuff going on, and things got very violent in this season finale. There were several deaths, and there was a nice twist. For anybody that has not seen the season finale and wants to, fast forward a couple of minutes because, a minute or whatever. I'm just going to spoil this if you don't care.
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Barbara Keene, the woman that Jim Gordon was dating, that we assumed was going to be Batgirl's mom and everything, she went psycho, killed her parents, and tried to kill Gordon's new girlfriend.
Whoa.
Yeah. On top of that, Riddler has multiple personalities. He's finally come out as Riddler. He killed somebody that was hurting this girl that he liked. So now he's going psycho. The Penguin killed Fish Mooney, who was one of the mob bosses.
Yeah, because they did say that she was going off.
Right, Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah. So she was, but her death was it was kind of ambiguous where she could come back in the future. But before she died, she killed another mob boss, Maroni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Falcone decided he's quitting, he's leaving, and he kind of he told Gordon this town needs a lawman now. And so, I mean, there was a lot going on. It was actually really good.
Yeah, if there ain't no Batman, which there's no way because he's still a kid.
That's the thing, though. Bruce Wayne discovered that his father had a secret, and that secret was behind a fireplace in his office, which led down to the Batcave.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So, the father originally created the Batcave in Gotham.
Yeah. Now, for what purpose, we don't know yet, because that's how the episode ended, with him and Alfred discovering it, and we hear bats, and they're looking down the staircase, and then it goes off. So.
I just hope that they're not really. This has Batman Begins feeling all over for some reason.
Yeah,
but pre-Batman Begins.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting. It started off kind of weak. I was really iffy on it, but it got a lot stronger as it went on. So. But sorry for that side drill right there. But.
It's DC related. Why is it a sidetrack in that case?
And Batman related. So.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other books that you're grabbing? Because what I'm looking through right now, I mean, Justice League looks interesting. Not Justice League. Justice League of America looks interesting. Justice League, the Dark Side War is still going on. I believe it's the last part, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, probably Justice League, Wonder Woman. I'm several issues behind right now, but I hear that it's really good, and I want to get back into it, and I want to catch up with that. Let's see. I'm actually really enjoying the Green Lantern book right now.
I'm loving Green Lantern. I mean, Rob Venditti really picked it up finally.
Yeah, I really like this direction. So, looking at the the solicitations for this one, it references the the core disappeared, all that stuff. It's still dealing with Relic and Black Hand, so we're still getting the same story that's going on right now. So I'm excited about that. Gotham Academy, I know you don't read it, but I love this series. It's full of mystery, intrigue, and twists and turns at every corner, and so I'm really enjoying that one. And I think that's the main ones that I'm really looking forward to. We
What
Are
about
Robin. I'm
Justice
kind of.
League? Yeah, no. Oh, okay. Good. We Are Robin. Go with
No,
that first.
I was just gonna say We Are Robin. I'm kind of enjoying right now. I actually really like the first two issues. It was just this interesting, different kind of story that you don't necessarily see. It kind of gave me a little bit of a Runaways vibe to it. So I'm kind of liking that now. That's all.
No, I was going to ask you what you're thinking about Justice League. I love the first sentence because it doesn't really make sense. The Justice League has become gods. Don't you mean have become gods? And I don't know. I'm not feeling that. That's for sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's tricky because it's league has, but a league is multiple. So yeah,
Begs the question of, is it either or?
yeah, it's really clumsy wording right there. I'd definitely hire a new writer for that. Anyway.
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to lettering lately, in the big two especially, guys, check your letterers because their spell check is putting the wrong word in the word bubbles at times, and it make no sense.
Yeah, that's very true. It happens more often than you would think it would, sadly.
Yeah, but it's really. I mean, I've been reading comics since 1998. The past 2 years, it's gotten really bad.
It has, and I'll place the blame largely on editorial, though the letter should be a little bit more conscious of it. But I know how easy it is for certain things to slip.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But there should be somebody checking over the work.
Exactly, it should definitely be caught. Every once in a while that's fine, but as constant as it's been, it's a little bit much.
And it's not just DC; it's Marvel also.
Oh yeah, totally.
If you guys would like to offer me a job, my email address is Dark Venture. Send me an email. I'll take the job. I'll read your books for free and then tell you if there's any spell incorrects. No spoilers until they're released, of course. I'll have the embargo.
Oh shoot! But yeah,
you could pay me too if you want.
So does this mean that they've become like new gods? Is that what they're referencing?
Yeah, basically. I know Batman. He's already on Orion's chair.
Right.
Not Orion. No, Metron.
I know, but it's
Orion.
Yeah, but Metron. Yes, you're correct.
Don't patronize.
I wasn't patronizing you. It is Metron. You're right.
No, I know I'm right. I don't know. I trust Jeff Johns. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm sorry. for correcting you. But yeah, no, I totally trust Jeff Johns. I'm stumbling over my words a lot on this episode, but I'm still iffy about using Darkseid all the time, Darkseid and Brainiac. But if it's a good story, it's a good story, plain and simple. So
I agree. If it's good, it's good. So far, it's been good. Let's hope it stays good, and that's all good, and we're good, and these solicits are good. One thing I really want to mention before we goodly get out of here. There are a few 100-page spectaculars, which I believe are reprinting certain major events in DC's past. One of them being the DC Comics Presents Superman and Lois and Clark 100-page Super Spectacular, which is a 96-page, $8 book, which has several stories in it from the 90s epic in which Superman and Lois tie the knot. So obviously it's probably the lead-up. The Clark asking her to marry him, the reveal, and then all the way through till the marriage.
Nice.
There's DC Comics Presents Teen Titan Hunt 100-page Super Spectacular, which has stories from Brave and the Bold and Teen Titans 1 and 4.
Oh, sweet. Those sound really cool.
I might grab the Superman, Lois and Clark one because I own the originals, but it'd be nice to see it all collected in one book.
Yeah. on my side of things, before we do get out of here, there are a few new number ones from Vertigo. There's one that really caught my attention, and when they first announced these, and it's called Unfollow.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just read this first line real quick. A dying social media mogul leaves his billions to be split evenly between 140 random people. Obviously, referencing 140 characters on Twitter. So I think that's really interesting that they go that route, that they're using social media in that way, and I just think that's an interesting twist, or not twist, but an interesting concept for a book.
Yeah.
So I want to check it out and see what that's.
Isn't it based off the movie Unfollow that's coming out?
Is it? I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I didn't know there was a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, I think it's interesting.
I think there is now. Now you got me wondering.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
As Brent looks that up, I really am not too heavy in the Vertigo reading at the moment. I'm going to go down and see. The toys in the Solicits. We're not going to go over any of the toys in this Solicit because on Hall of Toys, which is now live on Zone 4 Podcast YouTube channel and on zone4podcast.com, we talked about 90%, if not 100% of all the toys here. So if you'd like to hear our thoughts on any of the toys here, except for two, which is Arkham Knight's Red Hood, which looks cool, and DC Comics Super Pets, which this is like the 5th time they've been listed. They keep pushing it back. Crypto and Hoppy. I'd love to get Crypto because I love Crypto, the super dog. Those are the only things we didn't talk about that we normally would talk about. I think Crypto is awesomely cute, and I think that the Red Hood figure from Arkham Knight Arkham Knight, it looks awesome. It's obviously after the Dark Knight reveals that he's Red Hood, you got the Red Hood like mask with the bat symbol on the chest. So really good stuff. Really nice figure. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, Brant, because you're looking for the movie, but
no,
really
I saw it earlier. Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I've already looked about the movie.
Gotcha.
It's not Unfollow. It's Unfriended, the movie.
Ah, see, this is how smart I am.
You were close.
I was.
So, but I agree with you.
Okay, so thank you. I'm glad
You're welcome.
you agree. Because I need agreeing and disagreeing at times.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where that sentence was going.
I don't know either. But I think that's a good place to wrap this up, though. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. So, guys, this was us talking about the DC Comics Solicits. It was a pretty long show. Look forward to another episode of the Chris and Brant Show coming up later on today, probably tonight. And we'll be talking about the Marvel Solicits, the comics that will be coming out for November from Marvel. There's a nice amount of books there that we're going to definitely want to spotlight. A lot of number ones, a lot of the Marvel Universe is going to be kicking it into high gear starting October, going into November especially. So there's going to be a lot of new things there. But DC has a decent amount. I would like to say, though, with DC, there were a lot of really interesting books coming out in November. I really am happy to see a lot of the stuff coming from DC. It looks like they're really trying to pick it up again a bit. I guess we'll see where the books go in November for DC, but the things I'm reading, I'm liking, minus Superman mostly. Some of it's good. And things I'm not reading look interesting, some of it. So DC's really interesting for November. What about you, Brent? What are your final thoughts on DC's full solicits for November?
I think for the first time in a while, there are more titles that I'm interested in picking up, and I'm not just kind of down about it. Like I have been in the past few months. It's just there wasn't a whole lot that excited me before, and now, like I said, there are several things in here that have kind of piqued my interest, and some things that have kind of swayed me back to titles that I'm no longer reading. So I think that's a good thing, and it's a step in the right direction, at least as far as I'm concerned.
100% agree with you there. 100%. All right, guys, so thank you so much for sticking with us. We love you guys, as always. If you like what you hear here, there's some really great stuff over at comicfrontline.com, as well as zone4podcast.com. There is new stuff on both .coms on a weekly basis, and sometimes even, well, most of the time on a daily basis. So if you're interested, go check both of those websites out. If you like gaming, we got Frontline Gaming Zone on YouTube right now only, and soon to be on Twitch. We do a lot of our recreational gaming there. We're really looking to build that channel up as well. So look forward to new stuff there. And stay tuned here. There's going to be a lot of great things coming. After this week, schedules for me are going to change, so you're going to be seeing this channel kick it up into high gear soon. And with Brant by my side, you'll definitely be getting a lot of the shows that you guys like with the Brant and Chris show, and you're going to have a lot of new podcasts coming in September. So stay tuned. You're going to have a lot of awesome stuff coming. Would you like to say anything in closing, Brant?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. Seriously, no, that's awesome. You definitely got a lot of things to look forward to from us. You can check out our last Chris and Brant show. We went into a lot more detail about some of the stuff we're doing, and on Hall of Toys we actually did as well. But yeah, as far as me, if you guys want to check out zone4podcast.com, both of us do a lot of things there, and lasttimberpress.com.
That's what I wanted you to say. I didn't want to say everything. I wanted to save some stuff for you.
I appreciate that. But yeah, we're hard working on Chris's book, my book, and other people's books, and
a surprise actually. And we actually have another surprise from Last Timber Press. It started last night, and if all goes well, and it will, because you guys know me, I give 110% when it comes to working on things, and I'm working with Brant, so you know it'll go even faster. We got a nice surprise for you guys in October after all.
Yeah. So stay tuned to lasttimberpress.com, our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff for details as things develop.
Indeed. All right, guys, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys really soon with the Marvel Solicits. We hope you're enjoying the Chris and Brant show. We are still reviewing the DVDs. I have gotten a few people asking when we're doing that. I'm going to repeat, just for those of you that missed the last Chris and Brant show. We're going to be doing Batman versus Robin at the end of this month, and then at the beginning of September or the middle of September, schedules permitting, we'll be doing Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
So, you have both of those reviews to look forward to at some point soon.
Absolutely.
All right, so take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next video.
Bye, guys.